It's quite small.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a lot of people. I have a lot of people.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Outside the gymnasium.
I wish.
Mr. Cooper, this is why when you called me and said, hey, this is your last year, and I said, no, thank you.
Yeah. You're doing a nice job, second banana. Thanks.
That's all right. I'm here for you. I took care of me for you.
You did.
I wondered, we checked earlier to see.
Coming through when it counts. That's what I need.
Yeah, it was 6 o'clock-ish.
It's 7 o'clock, so I'll call this meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everybody. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Anderson,
Present.
Doobie,
Present.
Palmaville,
Present.
Rabish, present, Kuchar,
Present.
5, present.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Before we kick off the school year here, we're starting to ramp things up. Do we have any additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda?
Yes, I would like to remove item A off the non-consent agenda, the final reading of 22-23 middle school, high school handbook.
All right, so just the high school. middle
Just the
school.
high school, yes.
Okay. Any other additions, deletions, or changes?
We need a second.
Oh, true. Yeah. There you go, Linda, get on that.
Sorry.
Any discussion? Or we have a motion? Second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Community comments on any of the agenda items? No community comments? Anybody? Thank you. On to the consent agenda. Somebody.
No, this is Tom, me being Tom, I guess. I make a motion that, where am I at? Accept the agenda and pay the bills totaling $409,969.43.
We have a motion support on the consent agenda. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Doobie,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Palmaville,
Yes.
Rabish, yes, Kuchar,
Yes. Motion carries.
5-0.
Thank you. Communication from Mr. View.
Thank you, Mr. Kuchar. Just want to congratulate Mr. Kowalczyk on this new contract to become our next superintendent. And wish him all the best, and I'm sure I'll be here to assist in the transition.
I'm sure you will too.
I also want to thank Mr. Van Dries. Unfortunate to see him leaving after 8-9 years in the district. Put a lot of time and energy with Mr. Van Dries, and wish him the best. He's going to Carleton Middle School, from what I understand. So best of luck to him. And I also have an update on our Mr. Badafer. I met with Mr. Badafer over the weekend. As you know, he had surgery, and he seems to be doing much better. Was actually had a lot more mobility, and he is assuring me that his return to the board will be somewhere in the near future.
Good to hear.
So good for Mr. Badafer. Opening day, getting into the agenda. Opening day is fast coming upon us. Opening day for staff is August 23rd, and that's kicked off at 7:30 registration with the breakfast, and you guys are all invited, as you are every year. And the students will return on the 29th, right? Mr. Palmaville, or Mr. Palmaville, Mr. Woodruff?
Yeah, 29th Thursday.
You all ready for them? We'll have students coming in, and Mr. Palmaville was actually here tonight, so I'm not losing it. He was at our committee meeting. So looking forward to those, and just know that we also have 2 professional development days on the 24th and 25th that Mrs. Dr. Braun's working on, making sure that's all taken care of. I'm gonna be putting a message out. We normally in early August, I'll put a message out to all the staff, just letting them know opening day is coming. We have these modules, safe school modules, they're gonna be, you can start working on them, here's how long you have. And then I'll work with Dr. Braun and like a 3-day schedule for staff, so they know what all those days look like. So I think, depending on when Mr. Kowalczyk can start, I'll get him involved in that process so we can get staff to, but we're right about, it's normally the first week, maybe second week in August, at least 2 weeks out, we wanna make sure, I mean, they know when the days, but we need to give them a little more direction. Any questions about any opening activities? All right, orientation, that's always a big topic, high school, middle school, Thursday. We have Wednesday, the 17th is middle school, and Thursday, the 18th is high school. Those are set. I know parents had the times and dates correct, so those will be. What time is those? When does it start?
They both start at 9, and then so for the middle school, 6th grade starts at 9, and then 7th and 8th grade is going to be together, and then it's kind of the same format for the high school, where it's 9th grade and then 10 to 12. It's on our website. If you go to the high school, middle school section on our website, times and dates are out there. Correct? Got it.
Personnel update. Things are changing quickly. When the handbook was printed, we've had a couple of changes. We had a social studies teacher resign. Dylan Jaskowski has accepted another position somewhere else. And our elementary music teacher, Zach Osborne, has informed us that he has found another position. So I don't know if were those added or not yet.
No.
So we may not have those totally, right? I mean, we can fill their positions without,
Right.
just know that we've been notified of those. 2 cooks, here's some of our openings, just so people know where we're at with filling, getting all of our personnel ready for opening day. We're down two cooks in the middle school, high school, 3 custodians. 2 of those are in the middle high school, 1 bus driver. There's also a custodian at Central that's not in place. GSRP parapro, a GSRP caregiver, and we still are looking for a middle high school special ed teacher. So, and basically, I'm talking to superintendents lately, and it's a pretty common theme to have openings right now. And it's just a matter of getting these things plugged in and getting ready for opening day. But I'd like to see some of these get filled here in the next week or 2.
I know in my district, I think I've seen a job posting every day, from teachers to administrative assistants to cooks, obviously bus drivers, custodial. It's
A lot of movement across the state right now.
Yep.
And even at the ISC, we're seeing a lot of that as far as moving, a lot of movement. So personnel wise also, there was some discussion. We are going to be posting Mr. Van Reese's position as it currently is as assistant principal, athletic director. If that position, if there's a need to maybe modify that in the future, I think personnel committee can get with Mr. Kowalczyk and Mr. Woodruff to see if any of those modifications need to maybe look at that job, look a little different, or if it's going to work the way that it is. We think for the time, filling one position will be hard enough with 3 weeks to go before school, let alone 2 separate positions that we really haven't defined yet. But I think there's been some discussion about maybe at least modifying those potentially if that isn't the best fit. So kind of leave it at that. Does that make sense, Mr. Butcher?
It does. And again, we've discussed this. Mike asked me about it when we heard about this, and so obviously I'd love to have more people on board, but raise a good point of trying to find 2 people at this late stage and train them. So Mr. Vandries did a good job and was able to do it. So we'll see if we can bring somebody else in and train them, and it allows us to kind of identify the roles a little bit more succinctly if we need to or want to, and also can afford to spread that out. But it's always nice to have more hands on deck.
Right. And then as far as transitioning it with me, I've been working with the ISD and been there part of the time, been here working. So doing double duty, and I think it's at this point it's working out. I know once we get the green light from Mr. Walczak and when he can start, I will be working with him, kind of showing him the ropes. Not positive. I mean, depending on our next board meeting, will I be sitting here? That's something we can talk about. More than likely I will be, but if I'm not, I want to thank the board for all the support. Any success that I've had over the last 20-some years has been because of the community, and then 11 years as superintendent, it's been because I've had the support of the school board. I mean, that's it. I mean, you got school board and our school community, teachers, administration. It's a team and it all works together, and it does start at the top, so I appreciate the support from the community to the school board and everybody in between. Thank you. May not, like I said, I may or may not be here next time, but if I'm not, I want to get that out there.
Well, it's a public meeting. You're always welcome.
I can sit back there.
And do public comments. I'll give you 4 minutes every time.
Well, we'll work that out. If we wanted to work with, if Danny wants me to be here for that first meeting is, that's fine too, but I will just, that's to be determined, and I'll work with you as the board president to kind of dictate where I'm at.
Yep. I think we've got a good plan. We've always worked all together, and so we'll just keep doing what we're doing. And I got your number, and you got mine. So.
Speed down.
Yeah. No, Andy will have me on speed dial. We've already talked about that. So. Thank you. Any other questions, comments for Mr. Beebe? And thank you, Mike, for all your years of service, and good luck in the future if you're not here. I'm sure we'll run into each other.
I'll be around.
Yep. I think it was too bad. I'll come to the ISD because I know where to find you.
Yeah, we can't hide.
Yeah. Reports from administrative staff?
I'll speak. I just want to say that it was very nice to have kids back in school today. A lot of buzz, a lot of fun. It was really nasty there today, but it was really good to have kids. A lot of numbers up for volleyball. Football still there when I was walking in. So just having that kind of being able to talk to kids and have that relationship building right now has been really nice. Orientation, as Mr. G said, is next week already. I know our policy committee met today over our handbook. Sometimes we like to try to make a lot of changes. We kind of are always evaluating what we're doing and trying to get our staff be on board. So I do apologize that I wasn't completely ready because of all the changes that we have. But it will be a good process when it's done. And I thank the board's patience on that. So thank you.
Anybody else?
For our handbook in elementary, if we make changes with Andy and Christine's name, can we just post that? That's the only change we make.
Oh.
Does it have to come back to the board?
Yeah,
Just hold on, John, give us a minute.
that'll be part of
Here's
the
gonna be all taken care of.
Yeah,
process, but yeah,
Okay.
you understand where you're going. We'll get there. You're getting ahead of us, but yes.
And then we're starting to have teachers show up.
Yes, I know.
Great, I know. Appreciate your work.
And hired out.
Okay.
Hired, I didn't get anything. I was voluntold. All right, any other administrators?
That's all we have. Okay. Sorry.
All right. Thank you. That'll take us to the board committee's policy.
Policy met tonight, and the elementary handbook, we are recommending that we adopt it tonight and approve it. Title I had an audit with just some minor changes and a cleanup of a few items that Chris talked to us about. High school, middle school, we are going to wait until we get some more changes taken care of before we approve it, and that'll be at the next board meeting. And then they will do it the first day of school, they'll be handing out the handbooks, not an orientation.
Okay. That was kind of gonna be my question is, so that's all worked out, everybody's good with that?
Yeah, and I think that honestly, when kids get it, get the handbook at orientation, it probably doesn't have much meaning to them, they're not gonna sit there and read it, so, while this is gonna push us back a little bit, I do think that, I'm gonna direct my teachers to go over it in depth, the first couple days of school, to make sure that those expectations are clear, and I don't have any confusion. We might work on our, procedures and our rules the first maybe 2 weeks of school, to be honest with you, just so it's hammered in, because it'll stop, it's a lot of stuff front loading in front, but, it'll eliminate a lot of things down the road, the school year, so that it moves much smoother, so that's kind of.
Okay.
And the one major correction we're making on the high school, middle school is the HAP policy is going to remain the same as it has been in the past. We're not changing it.
And I know you had a board meeting tonight, or a committee meeting tonight, and there was, some public turnout. And so we got the input from them and staff. I know, we've had some communications from the teachers, so, it was considered, it was out in the open, we welcomed any input on that since it was brought to our attention. And I don't know, it's been not quite 6 months yet, but a good 4 anyway, I would think. So, definitely seeking public input on that. And I know I got calls from students, former students, my kids, about that. So we got good input on that, and I thank you for your service on that, for that committee. So, anything else? Okay, with that handbook, I found a few other things, that I guess I'll point out, and I'll either send it to Kyle or maybe.
Yeah, send it to me, that'd be great.
So some of it's typos, some of it's, some of it's questions. So I kind of want to go through it. So on page 18 with the lockers, it lists, and this is page 18 out of the 164 or 146, however many there were. Talks about lockers, and right above it, it says no food or drink allowed in the lockers, but then also on number 11, says no food or drink, so it's kind of redundant. You got it in there twice.
There's a bit of redundancy.
Yeah. But then my question is, it says no food or drink allowed in the lockers. What about kids who pack their lunches? So that's just something, or we have kids who are diabetic. Do the stacks need to go through the office?
Put it in our new superintendent's office.
So, yeah, nothing better to do, right? So that was one. And then on page 19, search and seizure number 2, talks about using a search dog, and you quote unquote use the term non-aggressive. I would just eliminate that. Just use it says trained dog, non-aggressive, or trained non-aggressive dog. I don't know how we can verify that it's non-aggressive, and if it's a trained police dog, they're trained to do more than just sniff drugs calmly. So I would just eliminate that language.
Yeah, if you want to email me those changes,
Yeah.
I already got.
Yeah, I'll do that too, but I just kind of want to get up because I want to know, let these guys know it's out in the open.
Yeah.
So, and then I had questions, page 21 on the grade updates. I think it's a good idea. Just wondered about the logistics, and I'll just throw it out there, and you guys can do what you want. But having the grades sent home with students every 3 weeks, while I think that's great, we have the Skyward system. The teachers just updated those. For us to print off and then physically get them in the hand and make sure that the student delivers them And if you're trying to get them signed by the, I'm a teacher myself, so me seeing that, I see that more on my plate. And I just wonder about the logistics on that with, so if that's being done at the high school, middle school
Yeah,
level.
it definitely causes a lot of extra work.
So-
I know we've done that because not all parents have access to staff.
Yeah.
Those types.
So I don't know if you want to try to identify those or get requests, but I don't want you to try to make everybody's job, including yours, more difficult. So I'm trying to get some stuff off of teachers' plates and let the parent come in and they can call, they can ask. There's ways parents can be proactive in this, whether it all falling to our staff.
Are we using the law enforcement drug dog?
That's, yeah, that's.
What it put trained law enforcement drug dog? That ends it right there.
Yeah, it just says trained, not aggressive. I just mean trained. Because he's got to be certified, but.
Right.
And we.
That's what I'm saying, they all
Yeah.
get certified through the law department.
And then, I noticed there's obviously a lot of crossed out. So is ISS, OSS, and restorative practice, are they all eliminated or they just got moved somewhere else?
So we just were in there multiple times, so
Okay.
instead of having it in there multiple times, just cross out the extra.
All right, and then, let's see, that one's a typo, that one's a typo. Oh, so you list a 100-point system?
Yeah, no problem with that.
Oh, okay, I'll take that off my list.
Yeah.
I like it because I have a 100-point system at my school. It works very well, but I didn't see it laid out. But if you want to discuss that with me, I'd be more than happy to
Well,
discuss that.
it'd be, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because we're definitely gonna explore that throughout the school year. We're just not quite ready, not at this moment to implement.
But that's fine, and I can get you a copy from my school's handbook too that has all that laid out, which I think is really good, and the kids understand it, and I think a lot of schools should have it.
Yeah, I value that.
So, you know, be more than happy to do this, so. But I will send that, but I want to just kind of throw that out there. Anything else for the policy committee? Questions, comments? Thank you. That brings us to the non-consent agenda. Item A has been removed, so that takes us to item B, the elementary. Need a motion?
I move to approve the final reading of the 22-23 elementary handbook.
Motion support, any discussion? Just like to note that Mr. Sanford and Chris can make those changes on the personnel names. All right, roll call vote, please.
Somerville.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Doobie.
Yes.
Rabish, yes. Kuchar.
Yes.
5-0.
Thank you, motion carries. Public comment? Anybody would like to address the board? Anyone? All right, seeing none, discussion items?
I have a question, and it's for Jay. Jay, the
Meetings have been taped.
Yes.
When are they gonna be on YouTube?
Once we had an improved contract, so probably tomorrow. We've been holding off because until now, the process hasn't really been completed. Like Chris and I talked about it. And I think today, in the non-consent, we approved the contract.
Mhm.
So now that that process is done, now we can put them on. So tomorrow I'm gonna combine them all into one video, and then I'll just throw them out when I throw out the video from tonight.
Okay, because I got raked over the coals that our interviews, we were being taped and no one's seen them yet.
Well,
And I couldn't give an answer.
Well, we were in the process and we weren't able to, but they were all public meetings.
Yeah.
Just as a response to that, the concern was that the first interviews you didn't want your second day people to see, and if we were to go to second interviews, you didn't want your candidates to have a feel for each other.
And the other answers.
Right.
Right, but that was on the 28th, and today is the 8th.
And that's where the people,
I've got a few calls and they said, how come we're not able to see this? And I said,
I don't know. I'm not a tech guy, but I said, but I will ask.
Right. Yeah.
We just approved it tonight, though. The
Right, but
finalization,
But I couldn't give anybody an answer because I look on here, I can go to YouTube and I can see other meetings of ours. So that's what people are seeing and they're like, why aren't the other meetings on here?
Right.
And I just needed to be able to tell people we had to wait for our,
To maintain the integrity of the process, you know.
So you got the answer you need then?
yes, that's all I needed to know, why, so I can tell them, if we're not trying to hide anything, we were waiting for everything else to finish, to finalize.
Any other discussion items? I would like to welcome Mr. Walchuk aboard. We'll formally sign this thing here in a moment and make it official, and then we'll just have to get your potential for starting day once you talk to your current employer. But congratulations, welcome aboard, and looking forward to the future here. Thank you. And then we'll tell you everything bad that's going on once you sign the dotted line.
It's all that pile of paper.
Yeah, it's all this right here, yeah.
So all the board members put their ink pens down, so when he signs, it'll be like the president. You can-
Yeah. Dave will put me. All right, any other discussion items? All right, if not, I'll take a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion, support, and discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? We are adjourned.